multiple children.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah. So
So keep in contact with me as well as Miss Marshall. I want you all to keep in contact with me, okay?
yeah, one way is through
Stay in
Cheyenne,
contact with me.
with
Hello.
Cheyenne. Yeah, she's
Mm-hmm.
back. So like
Uh-huh.
I said, one way is through her.
We
I
can
mean, this
hear her, but
project,
she's not.
yeah, this project is just so big. I have to stay so
Mm-hmm.
laser focused, and
Mm-hmm.
and people who are showing the strongest interest of getting involved or actually
Mm-hmm.
contacting me. So
Mm-hmm. That's
I
great.
stay focused on raising this
Yes.
$23,000.
Yes.
Um, and that's like laser focus for me. And I had
Yes.
to take time out to show my respects. Uh, and I'm glad I was able to come in even on the
Yes.
for a brief time. So I'm
Yes.
thankful to
I'm
Cheyenne
glad you're
and her
here.
husband for all of they're doing.
Well,
And I'm
heck,
glad
we
they have
had
stayed in touch
more.
with me. Yeah.
I don't know what I heard her on here. Sound like I heard her voice, but
That's Cheyenne. She's back.
I'm
yeah, I
back.
thought I heard her voice.
Yeah, they're back. They're back.
Yeah, we're
Are
here.
Where's
Yeah,
the picture?
we're all gonna keep connected, okay? We're all gonna stay connected.
Well, I wanted to, I hope, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Because I wanted to, there was a couple other little things that we wanted to add in here. And unfortunately, when you're in a campground, you never know what the Wi-Fi is going to do. So thank God y'all still hung out here, because we'll always come back if you just give us a minute. But I wanted to share just a couple of other things, because one of the things that I remember when my dad passed back in 1996, and it was kind of an unexpected passing, and his was heart related as well. And Brett was sure he was going to come out of that hospital. He was
Yeah.
absolutely certain of it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things sometimes
Yes.
when people pass quickly that I sometimes get a sense of some of the things that they would have wanted us to think about, if they'd had that last 5 or 10 minutes to just
Mhm.
be able to say, this is what I learned in my life, and I want
Yeah.
you to take
Yeah.
this with you, kind of thing. And so, for one, Brett and I used to talk a lot about Luke 10:19 in the Bible, which says, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. And we encourage people to think about that, because absolutely, when we've invited Jesus to come into our hearts, we have the power to trample on these scorpions and just say, get back, enemy, I'm not going to let you stop me. And I know I've heard Brett say those things over and over again. I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going. And I hear Linda picking up on that and kind of wanting to take it forward. And that was one of the things I think Brett would have said to us is, don't ever give up on what God has asked you to do. And of course, as we were coming back in, Marshall was talking about the same thing. She knows what God has for her to do. She's staying laser focused on it. She's not giving up in any way, shape, or form. And another thing that I think Brett would say is, when you do find good partners can sometimes be a challenge to find, but when you do find them, don't forget
Yeah.
to show your appreciation. It was just really, really weird that Brett, the timing of Brett's passing was so close to the last time we saw him, because we did not plan it. We did not know that he and we were going to be in Raleigh at the same time. And all of a sudden, he called me one morning and said something about Raleigh. I said, I'm in Raleigh. He's like, oh my God, let's go have breakfast. And
Mhm.
that was the last time we saw him. And it was just one of those things that, but God, right? We could not have
Mhm.
planned that. We could not have made that happen. But he was just so full of appreciation for us at the time when we saw him. And, we were really grateful to have that opportunity to see him. And the other thing I think that he would say that I know was a tough lesson for him throughout life was, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, that's one of the things when we met up with Brett, oh my God, we not only were taking him to church, but we were taking him to food pantries to get help. We were taking him to medical facilities to get help. He got his pacemaker in his heart while he was in Raleigh. You know, he went through some tough stuff while he was there. And you know, it's like, but he did, and in fact, I'll never forget, we were kicking his tail one day because he was old enough to be able to get Social Security, and he had all these crazy reasons why he wasn't getting it, and instead he was trying to get more jobs. I'm like, what?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Brett, you earned that darn money.
Robin
Don't
said
let
it. She
it.
nailed it. You nailed it.
You know, I mean, he would get on a bus in Raleigh and travel 3 hours across town to go and do telemarketing. I'm like, stop it.
Yep.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you mentioned that. I thought I thought I was going crazy. And he said to me, he said to me one day, I said, Dad, why don't you settle down, get your Social Security and, you know, blase, blase. I said, well, I've been looking, I got a couple of jobs lined up. So my daughter and I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
My daughter and I, we watched him get up and he got dressed so he could go into this interview. And my daughter and I watched him walking down the street. I said, I said, look at him. I said, he can't barely walk with them feet. I said, he talking about going somewhere, going somewhere to get a job. And oh my goodness, it was something. Oh, he was determined. And then he worked when she said telemarketing, it made me laugh because he did find a job for a short time. And it was telemarketing.
He probably
Oh,
had
my
10
goodness.
different telemarketing jobs in the time I knew him. I'm serious.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
So, but he
wow.
was good at using that voice in all different ways, right?
That's right.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
sure.
And actually, I'm gonna try to share my screen again and pray that my computer don't go crazy, because I do have a video clip that's just 3 minutes that I wanted to share, because this was the very first show, according to what he told me anyway, that was done on the Now Network. And so I said, well, you know, I think we need to have Brett's voice at least in here for a moment or
Yes.
two.
Yes.
And
Yes.
let me see.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's just it. And let me make sure I clicked the darn button. I'm not sure I did. Try this again. There we go. Share sound. If I don't click that share sound button, you won't hear a darn thing. I know.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's see if we can hear a little message from Brett today.
Welcome to on Golden. Gospelisgolden.com. Had to get that straight. Gospelisgolden.com. There we go. That's going to be behind all the things that we're going to be doing with our show. Welcome in. We've got a great person for show number 1. This lady and I her and her husband have been up and down the road, here and there. She always does great things here and there, and always doing things around everywhere in the United States. And she has a book out. Yes, yes, yes. I can't wait. I cannot wait. How are you doing today? And welcome in, Cheyenne.
Thank you, Brett. I am great, and I am so honored that you invited me for your inaugural show on this station.
Here we go. Here we go. And boy, we're going to have some great time this time. Oh, yes.
No doubt. No doubt.
What's going on with you?
Oh my goodness. Well, like you said, hubby and I have been all up and down the East Coast, it seems like, or at least the eastern half of the country for the most part. Right now we're hanging out in Georgia, and whew, it's warm here today. Been raining, been crazy, but it's all good. And I'm feeling it big time right now, that there's just so much that I believe our creator is working on bringing to the light here right now, and trying to help us get on a better path, because I don't know about you, but the past year has just been more insanity than I care to ever live through again.
It has been up and down all the time. And you sit there sometimes and you take the phone and you put it down and you go like, what was that conversation all about? Or when you talk to somebody about business, I'm one of the old type folks. If I want to talk to you about business, I want to talk to you about business face to face or on the phone. I'm not going to sit there and type my conversation for you for business. That's not business to me. I'm sorry, folks. And for all of the ones that you have missed some opportunities, that's because you did not want to take the time that you wanted to hear what I had to do. I'm trying to do great things, trying to get in front of the most people that I can and get more people on the show to let folks know that there are a lot of good things out here. God is doing great things, folks, but you got to get ready for it instead of sitting there all the time, watching stuff on the internet and not doing your business, not taking care of what needs to be done. You're going to get left. You better stop and get moving. Period.
That's right.
Well, and that is there you go. And you can so well hear in that clip about his frustration with the fact that he knew he was here to help people be heard and seen that are not typically heard and seen. And he just had a challenge with getting people to truly understand what he was here to do and why he was doing it. So, you know, I love that clip. I found that and I said, well, there you go. There's Brett in a snapshot. We need to we need to include that here today. So hopefully that helps to solidify in Rosalind's mind what he really was here and doing, what he was about for us. So it's an awesome thing. And you know, I will just say that, you know, we know that he's going to live on some way somehow. There's no doubt about it. And I'm just grateful that the people who are here today had a chance to get together, had a chance to be able to kind of laugh and share some stuff. And yeah, I heard a couple little sniffles along the way, but that's okay because, you know, that's normal. That is absolutely part of what we all have to be aware of. And I also want to share my screen one more time here because all of the images that I put up today, we're going to definitely put those on Brett's page. And if you didn't see the page earlier, I wanted you guys to see it now, just because if you were here, we definitely want you to go to his page. Thank God he didn't have as many protections on his page as many people do. And as a result of that, we're able to put posts on his page. And thank God, you know, because we're out that Brett had passed because she put a post on his page. And you know, this is actually pretty wild to me too, because he put this picture up just a couple of weeks before his passing. And I'm like, you know what? He already knew he was getting ready to leave the earthly plane. I mean, look at this. His focus was out there somewhere. I think him and God been having some
And when
conversations
I got his information,
But-
they sent me his stuff from the hospital, and he had a couple of cell phones. And when we opened up one of the cell phones, who was the screensaver on there? Me. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my goodness, look at this.
That's awesome. So there you go. You know he was thinking about you. But definitely the photos that we were sharing today, we're going to put up on this page. Anybody who's here today, if you'd be kind enough to just go here and put your name and your city that you're in. This is kind of our sign the guest book post. And I'm going to put up this recording. Now I guess it's in two pieces, but that's okay. We'll put up both pieces of the recording on this page. Please comment on it. Please like it. Please share it. Because there's still a lot of people that Brett touched their lives that they don't even know that he's gone. And you know, let's lift him up and make sure that the people who did care at least get to see what we've shared today. I'm sure there will be other people who will be extremely happy to see the information that we shared. And I kind of, I'll say, if there's anybody else here who wanted, I know Miss Shirley had said, Miss Shirley, did you wanted to share some things before we come to the end and just start to close this out today?
Yes, I would love to.
Please do.
I would love to. I really don't know anybody here, and
Oh,
it was a chance and happening for me to meet Brett and share my life with him for just a very short while. I never met him in person. We only met through Zoom and through FaceTime and through chat messages and stuff. And God brought him into my life at a time when I needed somebody more than I ever needed anybody in my life. Just a few weeks after I met Brett, sometime in July, I think, I'm not for sure. But on July the 16th, my oldest son was killed in a hit and run drive as he was walking through the road. And Brett he became a friend to me. That, he talked to me a lot. A lot of it was about businesses. One day I asked him, is you all business or is you just a friend sometimes? Yeah, then we talked. I used to share pictures of food. And the funny thing about it, to his daughter, you probably see food on his text messages that I send
Yep.
pictures.
mhm. A bunch of different foods. Yep.
And one of the things is I make doll food
hmm
for baby dolls, and he was like blown away off that, and he said he was sharing it with other people, and he told me about the cafe, the Ruku Cafe, and we did a lot of talking about business and plans, and I got excited. And like I said, it helped me during those days of grieving of my son. That I lost my son and moved into this house all at the same time, and I was telling him that my son was going to help me in the purchase of this house, and he died. And because he was married, everything went to my daughter-in-law. You know, she haven't shared not one dime, and that's been hard for me. I even had to pay for my son's memorial service myself.
Wow.
And Brett was telling me about the cafe and the different things that he do, and he was bringing me in. And we actually made plans of meeting. He was going to fly here to Warner Robins, and I was going to pick him up. He was asking about a motel and all of this stuff. And he was going to come to my house. He said something about bringing someone with him. And they was going to do the video and do an interview with me because I do a lot of stuff. I'm a multi-talented person. And he was very interested in that.
Yeah.
Not only me, but a brother that I have too. But there was I do multi-talented stuff. I'm a gospel playwright, and he was telling me that he can help me, with that in the entertainment world because he knew a lot of people. And also I collect baby dolls, and I have over 1,000 dolls. I collect Black baby dolls, and I share the history of the dolls. And he have seen a lot of my dolls because I showed them to him. And I was telling him about this diorama that I was doing, and he was interested in that. He did get to see some pictures of it, and I'm so grateful that I went ahead and got it completed and showed him some pictures. But he was going to come and film it and do an interview with me on that. And this is the reason that I put this thing together and made all of this food for these dolls so that he could see it. We got it all set up. I got the room set up with 160 some dolls in this room. And I didn't hear from Brett. I seen that he went in the hospital, and he said, well, I'll be back in a few days. And I kept calling and calling and calling and no answer. And it was just like, well, let me go to his Facebook page. Because we started, talking more personal through the phone and through chat. So I wasn't visiting the Facebook page. And when I went up there and I seen this news, y'all know, it just broke me. I was just so broke. I had told my family I had a surprise for them, and I wouldn't tell anybody what it was. And I just told him, you just got to wait and see what it is. I talked to my one brother because I talked to him about my brother, and he said, when we come, we'll just fly right on over into Florida and we'll video your brother too. He said, because I'm interested. I sent him different uh, uh, clips and emails and things on my brother, because I got a brother that is so unique, so unique. He's known as the Chef Teddy Bear back in Florida. He's known in so many different places. And I told my brother, I said, you're gonna love Brett. I said, you're gonna love him. I said, I've talked to him. We've been talking, and the things that you do is just that you do. And my brother got a little excited, but like, I ain't talked to this man, I ain't heard from this man. And to have to go back and call him and tell him that Brett died, that just, oh my God, it just, my heart, y'all, been broken. And I want to share with you a poem that I got, that from the little short while that I've known him, and just from talking to him and from listening to all of you today, it's going to go very well for Brett and for you, Rosalind. This is for you. It's called The Race. Defeated, he lay there silently, a tear dropped from his eye. There's no sense in running anymore. 3 strikes, I'm out, so why try? The will to rise had disappeared, our hope had fled away. So far behind, so error prone all the way. I've lost, so what's the use, he thought. I live with my disgrace. But then he thought about his dad, who soon he'll have to face. And when I say dad, I'm thinking about the father. Get up, echoed the sound low. Get up and take your place. You are not meant for failure here. So get up and win this race. With Barry, we'll get up, he said. You haven't lost at all. The winning is not any more than this. It's to rise each time you fall. So he rose to win once more. With a new commitment, he resolved to win or lose. At least he couldn't quit. So far behind the others now, the most he have ever been, still he gave it all he had and ran as though to win. 3 times he's fallen, stumbling, and 3 times he rose again. To fall behind, so far behind to hope to win, and still he ran to the end. They cheered the winning runner as he crossed the finish line. First place held high and proud and happy, no failing and disgrace. But when the fallen youngster crossed the line, last place, the crowd gave the greatest cheer for finishing the race at all. And even though he came in last, with head bowed down and low, unproud, you would have thought he had won that race to listen to the crowd. And his dad said to him, you didn't do too well. But his father said instead, to me, you won this race because you rose each time you fell. Now when things seem dark and hard and difficult to face, the memory of this little boy helps me in my own race. I'm gonna change that. The memory that I have of Brett helped me to run my own race. For all of life is like this race with ups and downs and all you have to do to win is rise each time you fall. Quit, give up, you are beaten. The wheels shout in my face, but other voice within me say, get up and run this race. And this is what he kept saying to me on those months that I was grieving. And he talked to me because my son was in the process of making a movie out of one of my plays. And I thought that I had just lost it all. And Brett kept telling me, you can win, you can do this.
Yeah.
So I want to sing this song also for my friend Brett. It's called Drink from My Saucer. I've never made a fortune, and I'll never make one now. But it really doesn't matter, 'cause I'm happy anyhow. As I go along my journey, I'm reaping better than I've sown. I am drinking from a saucer because my cup has overflowed. I don't have lots of riches, and sometimes my going they get tough. With kin and friends to love me, I think I am rich enough. I thank God for the blessing that his mercies have bestowed, because I'm drinking from the saucer, because my cup has overflowed. He gave me strength and courage when the way grows steep and rough. And I'm not asked for other blessings, for I'm already blessed enough. And may we never, never be too busy to help another bear the load. Then we all, every one of us, then we all will be drinking from the saucer when our cups are overflow. Oh, I am reaping right now, y'all, better than I sowed, because I am drinking. Can you hear him say this? I'm drinking from a saucer, because my cup is overflowed. Even though to some it might seem like a failure, but when you look at each one of us and the lives that he touched and the lives that he left and the dreams and the goals and the legacy that he left, and to you, daughter, you ain't by yourself, because he left you somebody. He left me. I'm gonna be your friend. I'll be there for you. You can call me anytime, because I'm drinking from a saucer, because my cup has overflowed, and I can bear another's burden, because my cup has overflowed.
Thank you, Miss Shirley. What an awesome way to close out our celebration of life for Mr. Brett B.J. Lewis Ringgold. We appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for sharing your story. It's always heart touching to know when someone was able to be there for somebody else with such a horrible loss. You know, as parents, we never expect our children to go before us, never. And that's so much. But thank you. We're blessed for you being here. We're blessed for your song, and I say that God lifts us all up. In fact, to kind of end, 2 Corinthians says, "Praise be to God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God." And that's what I just heard you talk about, Miss Shirley. So thank you for being
Beautiful.
part of this group. Thank you. Anybody with any final comments before we shut this recording down and put this up on Brett's Facebook page and say, yes, we thank God for the life of Brett. We thank God for the visions of Brett. And we know that Brett is dancing on the other side at this
Yes,
point.
he is. Yes, he is.
You know, I want to thank each and every one of you for
It's okay, baby.
I just want to thank each and every one of you for doing this today, and that I appreciate each and every one of you. And feel free to reach out to me at any time. And I'm just so glad that I know I've been communicating with a few of you, and I feel like I have true friends, and like a part of my dad is still with me when I communicate with you guys. Thank you so much.
This is the only part of virtual that's difficult. We send you air hugs, dear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and know that you can reach out to us anytime as well, because we're here, and we still got our big mission, big vision out here as well. And I didn't mention one of the things that Brett did for us that was so amazing. It was about 5 years ago now. We actually took a group of women to Washington, D.C. We called it Women Leading from the Heart. And Brett was in Baltimore at the time, and he actually rounded up somebody with a bunch of audio equipment. He fought his way through the park rangers who didn't want to let him in. And he set up that audio equipment so that we had 12 women that could be heard on the National Mall. And
Wow.
Let me put my 2 cents in.
oh yeah,
I drove a van with about 12 or 13 women from Raleigh, North Carolina to Washington, D.C. and back.
that's right. And John and Brett, there might have been one other guy there, but they were definitely outnumbered.
We kind of had to hide in the back for safety.
So he definitely was all about lifting up the community. And
Yes,
so,
definitely.
hopefully, Rosalind, we've helped to
Yes.
shine the light on things that you didn't know. And
Yeah.
hopefully you can find peace in your heart with all of that. That's my wish for everybody here, is that we all find peace in our hearts as we go forward. Because, just think of Brett's belly laugh, man. He'd
Yeah.
say, y'all better stop that crying down there and just get back to laughing.
Get busy.
Right. You like to laugh.
No nonsense guy.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Well, I'm going to shut off the recording, and the part 1 and part 2 will both be on his